Good morning, children. How are you? So, today let us learn a lesson, a story from reader, that is Those Three Bears. So, are you ready? The story Those Three Bears is written by the famous Indian writer of stories and poems, that is Ruskin Bond. So, most of the stories contain his uh, the stories about his childhood, and he spent his life mainly in foothills of Himalayas. So most of the stories based on those experiences. In this story also there is the those three bears. In the story also uh, he mentioned the about the Himalayan bears. He got three chances to um, meet the Himalayan bears. So that is given in detail in the story. Let us go through that in detail. Are you ready? Now let's see about the author. Ruskin Bond is the author of the story Those Three Bears. Ruskin Bond was born on 1934 and he is an Indian writer. Many of his works reflect his childhood years spent in the hills. Some of his famous works include The Blue Umbrella, A Flight of Pigeons, and the short stories A Tiger in the House, The Parrot Who Wouldn't Talk, and The Ice Have It. Ruskin Bond received the Sahitya Akademi Award for Our Trees Still Grow in Dera in 1992. He has also received the Padma Shri in 1999 and the Padma Bhushan in 2014. Now let us see the story in detail. That is in page number, the story is there in page number 103, 103. Ruskin Bond is a much loved Indian writer of children's stories and poems. He has lived most of his life in the foothills of the Himalayas. He has written many stories about nature and animals. And in the story, he tells us about the three times when he came close to Himalayan bears. So, the writer Ruskin Bond, uh, he is a much loved Indian writer and he wrote stories for children and also poems. So he spent his most of his lifetime in the foothills of the Himalayas. Himalayas means the mountain ranges. So the highest peak, Mount Everest, is in the Himalayas. Ruskin Bond, he has written several stories about nature and also about animals. And this story is also one such one. It's about uh, Himalayan bears. He met three times the Himalayan bears. So let's see the story. Most Himalayan villages lie in the valleys where there are small streams, some farmland, and protection from the biting winds that come through the mountain passes in winter. The houses are usually made of large stones and have sloping roofs so the heavy monsoon rain can run off easily. During the sunny autumn months, the roofs are often covered with pumpkins, left there to ripen in the sun. So, in this paragraph, uh, the writer is saying about giving a picture of the Himalayan villages that lie in the valleys. Valley means that is the foothill of the uh, mountain, that is valley. So in the valley there are so many small streams carrying water, like no smaller, the streams are smaller than rivers. And there are so many farmlands for to cultivate different crops. And they are protected from the beating winds. uh, Beating winds means very cold winds uh, that are come through the mountain passes. So since it is a since there are so many mountain ranges, so the climate is almost cool. So the farmland is also protected from the very cold winds. Mountain passes means paths that led from one mountain to another. It's a small path that you can, through the path, you can go from one mountain to another. Then about the houses in that valley are made up of large stones, and this roof, that is the top of the house. Roof is uh, they have sloping roofs, not straight one but sloping roofs. That way they can uh, protect the house from heavy monsoon rain. Since the roofs are made of slopes, slope, since they are slope, uh, the rainwater can drain easily. Then uh, during sunny autumn months, uh, these roofs are covered with pumpkins. So the uh, pumpkins are grown on the roofs. That way they uh, got ripened there in the sun. Next paragraph. One October month, when I was sleeping at a friend's house in a village in these hills, I was awakened by a rumbling and thumping on the roof. I woke my friend and asked him what was happening. So that during the month of October, one day, the the writer, while he was sleeping, he heard some kind of noise on the roof of the house. That time, he awoke his friend and asked him what was happening. That time, it's only a bear, he said. Is it trying to get in? No, it's after the pumpkins. So the friend told the sound was made by the bear. That time, the writer asked whether the bear will come inside. That time, the friend told, no, it will not come inside, but it came here to eat the pumpkins. Pumpkins that are those pumpkins, those are grown on the roof, top of the roof. A little later, when we looked out of a window, we saw a black bear making off through a field, leaving a trail of half-eaten pumpkins. So after some time, means a little later, when the writer and the friend looked out of the window, they saw a black bear making off, means running away through the field. Uh, how there was a trail means a path scattered with half-eaten pumpkins. On the way, there was a path, and on the way there were lot of half-eaten pumpkins. The pumpkins were eaten by whom? Uh, this bear, and the remaining part of the pumpkins were scattered on the way. So they saw the sight of the black bear running, making off or running away through a field. Next paragraph. In winter, when snow covers the higher ranges, the Himalayan bears come down to the lower areas in search of food. So, the Himalayas means there are lot of so many mountain ranges are there in the Himalayas, and they are most of them are covered with snow. So during winter time, the snow also the mountain ranges are filled with or covered with lot of snow. So when the snow covered the higher ranges, top part of the mountain ranges, that time the Himalayan bears who were living there, they came down to the lower areas, to the uh, foothills or the valleys of the mountains for what? To find out food, in search of food. Sometimes they forage in the fields, and because they are short sighted and suspicious of anything that moves, they can be dangerous. See, so sometimes they forage. Forage means they were in search of food in the fields. They were in search of food in the fields. That time, uh, because they are short sighted, they couldn't see things that are far away. They can see only nearby things. That's why short sighted. Since they are short sighted and suspicious, suspicious means not trusting anyone, not believing anyone. Sorry. And suspicious of anything that moves, that they can be dangerous. So if they don't know the animals or person or anyone moving through that place, then they will become dangerous, because they are not familiar with those kind of animals or people. But like most wild animals, they avoid humans as much as possible. So, wild animals, they try to keep away from the human beings, away from the man, because they wanted to be safe. Because of that reason, they uh, uh, avoid human beings. Like same way, bears also try to avoid human beings as much as possible. So next paragraph. Village folk. Village folk means village people always advise me to run downhill if chased by a bear. So the village people, they advise the writer, if any time they see if any time the writer see a bear, he should run downhill. Don't run up the hill, but run only downhill. Uh, if the if a bear chased him, they say bears find it easier to run uphill than down. So I am yet to be chased by a bear and will happily skip the experience. So why the villagers advised that way? You should come down or climb down only, not run uphill, because bears run fast when they climb uphill. When they climb downhill, they will not be that much fast. That's why villagers told you need to run downhill only. So the writer, till that time, he was not chased by a bear, and he did not have that kind of experience. Skip means avoid. He did not have, he was very happy that he avoided that experience. But I have seen a few of these mountain bears in India, and they are always fascinating to watch. So this writer is saying that he have seen uh, some only few mountain bears in India, and they are always fascinating to watch. Means they are always interesting to watch. Himalayan bears enjoy pumpkins, corn, plums, and apricots. Once, while I was sitting in an oak tree, hoping to see a pair of pine martens means small furry animals. Uh, Pine martens that lived nearby. I heard the whining grumble of a bear. Whining grumble means the sound made by the bear. Whining grumble of a bear, and presently a small bear walked into the clearing beneath the tree. Beneath means under the tree. Clearing means open space. So, this writer is saying that Himalayan bears always like to eat pumpkins, corns, plums, and apricots. And also told that once he was sitting in an oak tree, he wanted to see a pair of means two at least two pine martens. That's a kind of animal, small and furry animal. Furry animal means the body covered with fur. So he wanted to see such small animals. So he hoped he thought that he can see while he is sitting on the oak tree. While he was waiting for that, he heard the sound made by the or whining grumble made by the bear. And that time, presently means soon, a small bear walked into the open space under the tree, open clearing beneath the tree, open space under the tree. He was a little more than a cub, and I was not afraid. This the bear the author saw was a small one, is more like a small cub, and because of that size, the writer was not at all afraid of the bear. I sat very still, waiting to see what he would do. So he was sitting on the oak tree, and uh, he was eager to know what the bear will do. So he eagerly watching the bear, the small bear. So let us stop here. We can continue with the remaining part in the next class. Words and their meanings. Bitting. Bitting means very cold. Mountain passes. Mountain passes means paths that lead from one mountain to another. Runoff. Runoff means slide down. Making of. Making of means running away. Trail. Trail means a path scattered with half-eaten pumpkins. Forage. Forage means search for food. Short sighted. Short sighted means unable to see far away things. Suspicious. Suspicious means not trusting anyone. So you write this meanings in your notebook and also study well. Hi children, I hope all of you enjoyed the story very much. So let us continue the remaining part the next day. So if you have any doubt, contact me. Till we meet again. Bye.